I'm going to talk a bit about our new project called Habitat, which is an open source project that we launched sort of tangential to all the other things that Chef does. So it's not necessarily part of our commercial offerings. So we looked at sort of the state of configuration management, infrastructure, all those sorts of things over the past few years, as well as containers and all the other stuff that's popping up, and took a left-hand turn, right? So we're focusing more on application automation and all the things that your application needs for successful doing of work. Part of that was sort of driven by containerization, microservices, and the ability to get explicit dependencies, especially in the wake of large security problems. So we've refocused for this project on applications explicitly. Infrastructure is fun, and we have a lot of it and do stuff with it, but it's not really our goal. It's not the part that makes our companies money. We put the applications on top of it. So part of what Habitat gives you is what we call clean room builds, where you don't have to worry about what's going to be on the system when you deploy it. I don't care if it's Debian, I don't care if it's Gentoo, I don't care if it's Red Hat. I'm building in a rooted environment that's going to give me all the things that I need. I make extensive recording of all my dependencies, all the things that I need for the application that I'm running. And they are the same as I've spelled them out in my build process, rather than, say, container layers, which might get updated and things change in midstream. It becomes a package that includes all of your application components, all of the dependencies it needs, all of its libraries, those kinds of things. You publish it as what we call a artifact or into other application layers. That lets you run the thing that you've built everywhere. So you're not building a WAR file and it goes into staging, and staging might look a little bit different from production. You have this bubble, this entire package has all the good stuff in it. It also has a supervisor that allows you to find your friends. So you have the ability to bind and peer with other services that attach to a built-in supervisor. So it makes it very easy to attach your components together and allow them to communicate. There is some hard stuff about it. It sounds really great. And part of the reason I'm giving this talk is because I found it very frustrating to port one of our training applications into it. So some of the things that we found are still sort of evolving for Habitat itself is that you may have to rewrite some of your applications. The software as it stands right now in the Habitat world is not using Linux standard base, so there's shortcuts and options and things to help you find all of your tools and components, but it's maybe in a different place than what you expect it to be. It's also a very young community, so all of your upstream dependencies may not be there yet. I was struggling with MySQL and asked one of our engineers to build that for me because I had other things to do, and that's sort of where we are right now. There's other infrastructure that you can start to roll into it, but it's not sort of magic, right? There's still work to be done on some of the other integrations, and you can still use the artifacts that are produced on things like Mesos and Kubernetes if you're already running those platforms. You will need the internet. We work with a lot of enterprises. I know that's a struggle for folks who aren't allowed to talk to the internet. Right now, all the shared plans are in the depot. We may allow depots published internally, but we're not sure how that's going to go yet. Other things that are coming soon, Chef integration. If you're familiar with Chef, is configuration management. Things will be coming to integrate with Chef. What other crazy stuff people come up with, because we learn from our customers in our community the weird things that they want to do with our tools. There'll be additional layer support, knowledge bases, and use cases on legacy migrations. So our definition of legacy for when it comes to Habitat is rather short. So Linux kernel 2.4 and up is kind of where we're working right now, but still gives you some commercial components that can be ported. We're also still working on the Windows side of the house. That is on the roadmap. It will be coming. I don't know the dates on that yet. I'm not sure engineering has sort of pinpointed at that, but it will be part of what we're working on. We're also looking to increase involvement. Obviously, as a young community, we publish more things that helps people get more work done. So we run Habitat Hack Days in conjunction with some of our other events. We're also looking for folks who are playing with it and want to do demos, talk at meetups, and things like that. So we have a lot of references up. It's so new and so weird that we dedicated 3 hours to it at our conference in July. So there's 3 separate videos of different kinds of things you can do with Habitat posted to our YouTube channel. So these were all at the conference. There's the main website for Habitat. It's habitat.sh. And you can find all kinds of things there. And we have a Slack community for it as well. It's like that's it.